Parent Entrepreneur Power, conversation number 210.
Parent Entrepreneur Power.
Wait, what? Entrepreneur Power!
This is the podcast for parents juggling the tough choices required for success in business while putting family first. Hi, I'm Mary Kathryn Johnson, and I share the ups and downs and dirty truths of profits and potty training while chatting with successful parent entrepreneurs from all walks of life. Are you powered up? Hey there, Power Parents. MKJ here, and I am so excited to bring you the next several episodes because I'm going to do something a little fun and a little interesting and a little different here on Parent Entrepreneur Power. And I'm going to introduce the Power Parents in Business series. So I'm going to give you 10 episodes. The next 10 episodes are all going to be about Power Parents in Business. And it's basically going to be step 1 through 10, the things that I think are most crucial for you to build a successful business. Online, offline, doesn't matter, but definitely with kids. Spouse optional, but yes, kids. You know what I'm talking about. Families, right? This is what we're doing. We're trying to build businesses at the same time as we're growing successful families, okay? But first, before I jump into this, I need to give a shout out because I've been getting some love from some great people. And one of them I wanted to shout out because she's been sharing some things. She came into Facebook and chatted with me a bit. Hopefully she'll be on the podcast here pretty soon. But Laura Stewart Shortridge, I just want to say hello and thank you very much for sharing some great chats with me. If you want to do that as well, you can go to Facebook and either go into Messenger funnels and chat with me in the bot, or just go to Parent Entrepreneur HQ on Facebook and you can chat with me there as well. You can find me on Twitter. Parent E Power is my Twitter handle, and you can definitely chat with me there. Mr. Just J does that quite often. Thank you very much, sir. And I just really am enjoying chatting with people and talking about business and bots and Facebook and families and being an absolute power parent. So with that in mind, let's jump into this series, shall we? All right. So the reason I've been thinking about this, I've got to be honest, is that I'm kind of in my exit strategy with my kids. All right. And one of my businesses is kind of in the exit strategy as well, but mostly my kids, right? They're 16 and 19 as of the recording of this episode. And, it's really, if anybody thinks that having babies is hard, yes, it's hard. You don't have a lot of sleep, all that kind of stuff, but you can, semi-control them, at least they're very easily, usually very easily satisfied, food, burp, change a diaper and you're good. Sleep, that kind of thing. Lay them on your chest and watch TV and they are happy little campers. But you can't do that to a 16 and 19-year-old, right? They're starting their own lives, and it is so flippin' exciting to see, really, really exciting to see and participate in. But because I'm in that exit strategy, I'm looking back, right? I'm looking back and really thinking about how my life has been since I started my first online business in 2003 and the lessons I have learned. Oh my goodness, really crazy stuff. So that's what prompted me to kind of start this series. And I'm just going to they're not going to be huge and long, hopefully just enough time for you to get some tips and tools and really absorb some stuff and hopefully not make some of the same mistakes I made. That's another reason I did this, because I would love to have my kids not make the same mistakes I made, but it just doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. They really do have to make their own mistakes, and they might be able to avoid some mistakes by watching you, but they're not gonna avoid your mistakes by you telling them, don't do this. Believe me, I've tried. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about in this Power Parents in Business series is this. If at all possible, discover as quickly as you can what you offer and what you sell. Now, I know that sounds easy, right? You're like, duh, Mary, I got an online course that I want to sell. Okay, that's fantastic. I'm very happy for you. But I'm going to tell you, most of us start out selling one thing, and especially in the beginning, we think this is what people need, but many, many, many times it turns out that's not what they want. Now, lots of times I know we have to sell people what they want and actually fulfill with what they need. Okay, that sounds a little bait and switch, but really it's marketing tactics. Okay, so you talk to them about what they want, and that's the transformation. Usually it's an emotional reaction to whatever it is that's going to change in their lives. But really then you have to deliver what they need to get that emotional change, to get that that connection, that transformation that they want in their life. So what I mean by discover as quickly as you can what you offer and sell, find out what your particular audience, what your particular prospect needs, and fulfill it. Okay, so I'm going to come back to, I'm going to compare three things. Number one, my first business was Mommy Loves, and that was a very simple business. I got the idea back when I was first pregnant with Evan, and that was in 1998. And I finally was pregnant and had a baby stick around and not miscarry. So I thought I'd basically passed the toughest class I'd ever taken in college. So I went and created I have no idea why I was compelled to do this, but I did. I went to my Windows 98 computer and I tapped out on Excel a report card, a design that looked like a basic report card, right? And that's really simple. That's not design skills. That's not drawing. That's nothing. It's just typing out fall semester report card. The first course was Pregnancy 101. The second course was Pregnancy Prevention. And of course, I got an A+ in Pregnancy 101, and I failed Pregnancy Prevention, finally, because it took us a long time to get pregnant. And I just really wanted for myself that I was so excited that this finally was happening that I wanted to create a shirt that said that on the belly, and I would announce it to the world. And so I did. I printed this Excel spreadsheet on a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper, regular stuff, right? Went down to a sports shop and went down to Target and bought a blank white shirt, brought that shirt and that printout, and it was just a printout. I mean, it really wasn't nothing fancy. The printout to a sports shop, that puts numbers on jerseys. And I said, can you put this design on this shirt? And the, bored teenager behind the desk said, yeah. And I said, okay. And I came back an hour later and boom, I had my shirt. And I wore it everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And I got stopped everywhere from people that saw me wearing this shirt and just were so excited. Of course, mostly women, middle-aged women who wanted to get this for their daughters or their daughters-in-law. And that was my proof that this was something that people wanted. And so I went further, but of course not until after my second kid. I actually didn't make this into a business because right after that, very shortly after that, as I was ruminating this idea and thinking about other designs, then Evan decided he wanted to come out early, and I had to have my first parenting, basically put my foot down and say, no, you can't come out. And so I got hospitalized for early labor. And of course, then I was on bed rest and blah, 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 and stressed and scared because I'd never had a kid before and didn't know what was happening. And then finally he came, and then the world, of course, went upside down because now you have a baby. So I didn't even think about this as a business again after that because I was focused on this new little thing. And then I'm pregnant the second time for Riley and bring out that shirt again. Sweat stains and all. I'm telling you, it's rank to look at. It's really not pretty now. Years and years later, it definitely is not looking good. But still, I brought out that shirt and I wore it, and the exact same thing happened. Exact same thing. I got stopped everywhere. I got stopped on an airplane from a lady who watched me go through the airport I was going to a conference for my job at the time. And she happened to be on that same flight. And she's just came up to and stopped the whole line of people getting on the plane going, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're on my flight. I really want that shirt. My daughter's a teacher, blah, 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 blah." So it was just, I got total proof, social proof that this is something people wanted. And all I had to do was fulfill it. So that was very quickly, well, I can't say that, probably over the course of 4 years, three years at least, that it took me to decide and discover what people needed, what I could actually offer and sell. All right. But once I did that and Riley came, and of course, then you know the story, 8 months pregnant, and I fall and break both my legs. So that was also another, a little derailing, so to speak, of this project. But once I did that and got through that, that was all I needed to prove to myself that if I could get through that with my sense of humor intact, I could do absolutely anything. And so I did. And that's what I needed, not what everyone else needed. I needed that to prove it to myself that I could do this. And so I did. And, you know, it's not, I don't think it's accidental that about almost 9 months later, I finally had birthed this business and launched it in November of 2003. And the first year took off like gangbusters, and then it just kept going up and up, triple digit growth every year after that until, of course, the wonderful recession. But we won't talk about that. So discover as quickly as you can what you offer and what you sell. So that was Mommy Loves. Then we can come fast forward to when I published a book about that same topic, about my whole breaking both my legs while 8 months pregnant experience. And it was a great book. Everybody loved it. Wonderful. And I self-published it. Okay. And when I self-published this, people then came to me and said, "How did you do that?" Because this was in the beginning of Create Space. So folks, please, power parents, learn from this. Mommy Loves was the very first maternity company online. Okay. But I screwed it up by not being able to handle the recession and not having any idea how to do business through the recession, do a retail business online through the recession. I had no idea. So I had to learn more lessons. Then I came in and published this book, and I was at the very beginning of Create Space, of self-publishing. I was actually at the very beginning of that whole trend, that whole ability of self-publishing. And I didn't necessarily screw it up, but I chose the wrong part of it. So that's the next question. That's the next thing that's happening. So I self-published this book. It was great. I had no intention of making that into a business. But then people came to me and said, "Hey, can you help me self-publish my book?" So that's what I did. I actually started a business called Help Me Self-Publish. And I was going to format the manuscripts because I understood that, and I was in tech. You know, I wasn't in tech, but I understood. I can dissect programs and figure them out. And so I was going to do the actual formatting, and I had a friend who was an editor, and she was going to do the editing. And so we started this thing, and it was the absolute wrong thing for me to do. It was something that people needed, something that people wanted. We were actually starting to fulfill people's dreams of self-publishing their books and helping them do that. But I definitely did not want to spend my days formatting manuscripts for Create Space. That was not what I wanted to do. It did not fulfill any of the creative juices that I have. And it was just so boring, and I just did not want to do it. So I basically killed that business. Okay. But here again, I found out what people wanted and I sold it to them. It was me that didn't want to do it. All right. So there's two businesses that I did the right thing, but they went down for different reasons, and I needed to learn another lesson that I'm not going to just chase a business just because I can make money. I need to do something I enjoy. Okay. Then we came into Parent Entrepreneur Power, and this podcast is still going strong, and I'm still consulting with parents, helping them build their businesses. And I tried to find different products that people might want and need that I could provide for them within the Parent Entrepreneur Power brand. But I didn't find the right things. I followed too many of the gurus and drank too much of the Kool-Aid that just said, put up an online course and do this and do that, and people will just come, and that does not work. So I'm not going to talk about that business in relation to discovering as quickly as you can what you offer and sell. But I am going to touch on messenger funnels. Now, you already know about that. So basically, I learned how to build these messenger chatbots. And basically, I don't think of them as chatbots. I think of them as funnels. They're marketing and sales automations in Messenger. And I learned how to do this, and it just clicked. And I asked people, do you need this? And I asked people about their businesses and if this would benefit them. And they said yes. So immediately I knew, and I was at the beginning. So here you go. Of course, I was not at the beginning of podcasts. Podcasts had been around since at least, I think, 2006 or 7. And I didn't start this podcast until 2014 was when it launched. I started in 13 doing recordings and things, but it launched January of 2014. And so I was at the beginning of the rise of podcasts, let's put it that way. But all those other businesses I mentioned, I was at the very beginning of those industries or those trends, if you want to use that word. And now Messenger, here again, I'm at the beginning of Messenger. I've been doing this for a year. I cannot believe a year has gone by. I truly cannot believe it. It has flown, and I have had a blast. And now chatbots are just starting to rise, and this is going to be the absolute year that they explode. I'm telling you right now. And so I got in on the beginning of this, and I asked people about it and if they would need it, and they said yes. And now I've started building a business that is just going nuts. It is a rocket ship. And I discovered very quickly what I wanted to offer and what I wanted to sell. And that was, I knew nothing about being a quote agency, right? An agency that basically does marketing and sales for other clients, for other businesses. So you could say I'm kind of an agency, but not really. I actually build the engagements for my clients in Messenger and try and get them the highest conversions possible. I don't do Facebook ads. I have someone on my staff that can do that for me, for them. But most of the clients that I'm working with are higher end clients, and they already have Facebook ads down. They already have someone in their team or that they contract with that are doing Facebook ads. So the lead generation I'm not doing. But once they get into the bot, they're mine, and I help them discover whether or not this prospect coming into the bot, into Messenger, is right for this particular client of mine. So if they really need what my client has to offer, I help them do that. I help them figure it out, and I communicate with them in a very engaging and fun way through Messenger. So I know exactly what I do. It's kind of like an agency. If you want to call it a bot agency, you can. A messenger agency, you can. But I'm here to tell you, even though I know what it is I offer and I know what it is I sell, I have been pulled in at least 3 other directions since I started this. And I did not have blinders on, and I did not have focus until basically last November, let's say. So from last February 17 to November of 17, I tried a bunch of things. I threw a good chunk of money, at least $6,000 toward Facebook ads and launching a course and being able, because people were asking me to teach them how to create bots and how to do what I did. And so I threw some money at Facebook ads and I put up a course, and no, that did not work anywhere near what the agency did. And my clients that I was actually building these things for were getting amazing results, but I kept getting pulled in other directions because people were asking me if I could do this, and I'm the yes gal. Yeah, sure, I can do that for you, is what I said. And so then I got my focus derailed. Okay, I switched my focus and had to go do other things. And so that took me off of my success path. So even with messenger funnels, I know exactly what I do. I know exactly what I offer, and I know exactly what I sell, but I got pulled off of that. And so it has taken me, well, that was 9 months? Yeah, at least 9 months to finally decide, no, Mary, you're not going to do courses. You're not going to do masterminds. You are going to fulfill your agency clients' needs, period. That's it. I don't care how lucrative courses could be. I don't care how lucrative masterminds can be. That's fantastic. That's wonderful. But that takes me off my focus. And I am going to stay focused on what I offer and what I sell. So, number one, you can try these different things. Okay, here are my tips for discovering as quickly as you can what you offer and sell. Ready? Number one, you can try different things and try and offer and test the market and all those things. But very quickly, and I'm talking like within a month or less, you need to decide if that particular thing that you're offering is going to be successful. And the way I knew that courses were not going to be successful was, number one, I was getting more referrals and more clients for my agency model. Okay, so people were referring me because they were getting great results to more clients for that agency. And it was much harder work and much more difficult for me to expand and build upon the whole course model than it was the agency. So it was very clear pretty quickly, especially after spending $6,000 and not getting very much of that back, that courses were not the direction. So within a month, you can try different things, but remember, all that time you're taking away and trying this new thing is taking you off of what might be really your true offer and sale. And only you can answer that. It has to be something you enjoy. It has to be something that clients need and want, and that it's something they'll pay for, right? You have to enjoy it. Clients must need it. Potential clients must need it, and they must be able to pay for it. Really, 3 things. And if you have those 3 things, go for it. Keep doing it. Don't get derailed and try something else, okay? If you do want to try something else, test it for a month and know that the energy it takes to do that is going to be taken off of the success of the other thing that people are actually paying you for, okay? If you're not being paid for anything yet, man, test away, right? Test away. Ask away. Ask people, what do you need? Talk to people all day long. Well, as often as you can. If you have kids in between or if you have a job, then talk to people when you can. But talk to them, message them, communicate with them on Facebook, Twitter, wherever, email, doesn't matter, in person, and find out what people need based on your expertise, okay? Do that, and do it as quickly and efficiently as you can. Because I'm telling you, it has taken me, how many years? Try 15 years. 15 years of being at the beginning of 2 other trends and not being able to make them successful. Now I'm at the beginning of a 3rd trend. And this one, I am bound and determined to make successful. And the reason is because, in 9 months, I tested. I should have only taken 1 month and left it at that. But I kept going back and testing it again because I really thought that I wanted to be a course creator. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a trainer. But really my expertise and the things that I'll talk about in, let's say, number 7. So the 7th episode in this Power Parents business series, in number 7, you'll hear what finally made the difference for me and what I should have done in the beginning, but again, didn't think I could afford. Instead, I put that money toward Facebook ads to launch a course. Okay? I'm learning constantly, people. I am learning constantly, Power Parents, and I so hope you are too. All right? So you got my first tip in this Power Parents in Business series. Discover as quickly as you can what you offer and sell, and then double down, triple down, quadruple down, 10x on that thing. Do everything and focus and have blinders on for everything else that might come in your line of vision, and focus on what you offer and sell that people have told you they need. Okay? Please be not like my teenage sons, and please learn from my mistakes. Don't take 15 years to figure out what it is you really need to offer and sell. Figure it out right now, and then just jump in and offer it and iterate. I started out offering building chatbots, building messenger funnels for people at a very low rate compared to what I'm charging now. And that's because I was testing. I was trying to figure it out. I was basically, it was just me. And I didn't have any of these time tracking and figuring out what my KPIs were and blah, blah, blah. And all the amount of time it takes to do this, that, and the other thing. And all those business things that I really didn't know. And I'm going to cop to it right now. I am not a business major. I am not a business expert in terms of the details of the back end of business, but I've got somebody on my side who is. And that person has helped me tremendously to figure all this stuff out. So now my prices are more than double than they were when I first started. And that has really made all the difference to make sure I stay profitable and make pretty amazing money. And one of my clients, just one of my clients, through the bot that I have built for her, she had last week, in 1 week, with this webinar series that we created, she sold 44 of her online course programs. And that course costs $9.97. And she sold 44 of them in a week, just through the bot, not through email. So I'm telling you, people, oh my goodness, 44. So she made $44,000 in 1 week from the bot that we built for her that cost her $2,000 for us to build. Actually, I take that back. It cost her $1,000 for us to build for her. And she pays us $500 a month to maintain it. A month. That was because it was my early pricing. But $500 a month for maintenance, no Facebook ads, nothing, no additional cost to get people into this bot. And she sold 44 in a week. She made 44 grand off of a $500 investment per month. Okay, what does that tell you? This works. This is amazing. We are doing crazy, amazing things. And it's not spamming people. It's not just selling to people. It's actually providing value and engaging. And I am having a blast. And of course, my client's very happy. Of course she is. So that is why I am not doing courses for bots and Messenger. I am doing an agency. I am fulfilling these things for clients because that is flippin' amazing. And this client is sending me other clients, obviously. So I found what it is I offer, and I've found what it is I sell. It has only taken me 15 years to finally do this and to put the whole package together. All right. Next week, I'm going to talk about how you can iterate continually until you have a core product or service that is selling consistently. I'll go into the details of what I mean by that. So I hope you have an amazing week, a month, a year, whenever you're listening to this. I hope your day, if you got to wake up today and you're actually listening to this, then life can be nothing but spectacular. And I hope, so hope, that that's exactly how you feel. Because if you do, you, my friend, you, power parents, will enjoy the journey. To get powered up for your day, just go to parentepower.com and listen to the over 200 episodes we have so far with amazing entrepreneurs just like you. It might just help you feel like a grown-up again.